What's up guys, Bao here back with my welfare QBD guide. Now before we get into it, I would like to get into the requirements. So I would recommend 80 in your combat style of choice and then 80 in your defense. So as far as strength goes, 70, 80, that's fine, just because attack is what you need to equip the gear. So yeah, 80 attack, ranged, mage, any of those or all of them, so you have some more options. Alright, so you should know that welfare for me and welfare for someone else mean very different things. So I'm going to be assuming you have a 5 mil budget for gear. Just keep that in mind. So first off, we have our mage setup coming in at around 4.5 mil. This is Amulet of Glory with any team cape. This is my personal favorite, but you can choose any of them. They have the same stats. Full Ganodermic, including the gloves and boots, a Polypore staff, a Seer's ring, and a Sign of Life. And then I have a Master Runic Accuracy aura. Any of the Runic Accuracy auras will do, or you could switch it out for a Vampirism aura, but this is what I would recommend. Next up at 2.7 mil is our melee setup. So same amulet, cape, gloves, and boots. And this time we switch out for a Torag's helm, body, and legs, and a Bandos Godsword, and then we have a Warrior Ring, again, Sign of Life, and this time we definitely want the aura of Vampirism. Lastly, we have our ranged setup coming in at around 1.1 mil. Here we have Royal D'hide with the same team cape and glory. Then we have Archer's Ring, Spined Boots, Vampirism again, another Sign of Life. Now, as far as the weapon, here I have the Royal Crossbow just because it is level 80, so it is within the requirements. However, it does have a few other requirements as far as summoning, smithing, etc. And if you're watching a guide to kill QBD, you most likely have not been able to brandish it yet. So, if you do not have Royal Crossbow, you can switch this out for a Black Salamander and Harlander Tar, I believe that's how it's pronounced. And they won't be quite as good, but they're the best you can do. Alright, and lastly, I would highly recommend doing the quest Song from the Depths. First off, you get the Coral Crossbow, which is necessary for the Royal Crossbow, as well as Remora's Necklace. It's a nice teleport to QBD, and most importantly, reduced incoming damage when fighting the Queen Black Dragon. Now this doesn't make too much of a difference if you have Super Anti-Fire, but I'm assuming you do not. And so that gives you about 400 damage reduced from fire waves, and that helps quite a bit. So I would highly recommend it. It's a pretty short quest. Alright, now for our inventory, you'll want a super potion for whatever combat style you've chosen. I'm going with mage. Then a normal anti-fire potion. If you have super anti-fire, I would definitely recommend it. Then we have 2 super restore flasks, Remora's Necklace, just a teleport to the QBD, and a bunch of food and a teleport to house. Now, if you can go to QBD, I believe it requires 60 summoning, so the absolute lowest familiar you would have is a Terror Bird. Get out the best familiar you can and fill it with whatever food you can use. If you can use rock tails, great. If not, just use sharks, they'll work just fine. Alright, and once you're here, you'll just want to turn on your aura, drink your potions, and head in. Alright, so once you're inside, we have a beginning cutscene. You're going to want to pray ranged, and if you have Augury, Rigor, or Piety, then use the style that you would want, to use. And then, you're just going to get this bar down to 0, and then you want to stand right next to this, and click on it as soon as the health is down to 0. Alright, so sometime during this phase, you'll get a Firewall, most likely. Personally, I just run through them. In general, it's probably better practice just to go to the break in the Firewall. It saves you a lot of damage taken, and so, yeah, it's just a good idea to run through those. So, anyways, towards the end of this phase, I'm actually getting some lag, so 1 second. Alright, so at the end of this phase, she starts shooting out giant worms, and then you'll just click on that. Now you're on the second phase, and she has gained another attack. So just make sure you're staying near full health, just so you don't get comboed. Okay, it's going rather well. Okay, and I will be back when she does her other attack. Okay, and again with the flame wall, except this time she does two waves. This time I'll just run over to the side. Okay, and as you can see, that's probably a better idea because then you take no damage. Okay, and here we have the tortured soul. You want to run in the direction of the soul so that the damage he would do to you is dealt to the tortured soul. It saves you some damage and it hurts them. And then you're just going to click on this artifact to go to the next phase. And eat to full. Okay, so with fire waves there are 3 breaks where it can be. There's one right here, and right here, and I'm getting some more lag. Okay, and so you want to stand in the break that's closest to the artifact that you would be going to. So for example, the next artifact is this one over here, and so I would want to stand right here. So there's a 30% chance that firewalls won't hit me. And if they do, I can just, like I said, run through them. So, yeah. Alright, and once you finish this phase, we're just going to click on this artifact back here. And we are on to the final phase. With this, she gains a few new attacks. First and foremost, the tormented souls that she spawns goes up to 4. This is the most common way to die, most likely. So you just want to stay near full health. Except with them, you'll have to run out to the corner to hit one of them, and it'll insta-kill one. And if there's a giant worm nearby, then just run behind it, and the rest of the damage will be dealt to it. So yeah, the Tormented Souls, she also does more firewalls when she does that attack. And she has a time-stopping attack, and I'm getting some more lag. Okay, so her time-stopping attack, she spawns a Tormented Soul on the side. I'm actually gonna see if I can wait long enough so that you can see that. Alright. So yeah, I'll be back when she does her attack. Okay, so the next attack is Superhot Plains. As you can see, there's a fancy graphic and you take a lot of damage. If you're standing in the center, you'll take about 5 times as much. So just be cautious of that. Alright, so now she's doing her time stop attack. So you just have to kill this soul on the side. If you do not kill it, then there's this nice overlay graphic that shows up. And you're stopped for 10 seconds. And then at the end of that 10 seconds, you take all the damage that was dealt during that time. It's a very great way to get insta-killed. There we go. And as long as you're careful at the end, you should be fine. And then we just click this final artifact. And over here, we see this thing pop up, and we can claim our loot from the kill. So we go down, and you're in this nice, well-decorated room. You just click on this dragonkin coffer, and you have your loot. I actually got lucky with a royal bolt stabilizer. So if we take a look at how much I made, so from 1 kill, alright, so I got somewhat lucky. But from 1 kill, I made 400k. That's quite good. With Dragors, you can do this in 2 minutes. With welfare gear, you can do it in 3 to 4. And it really was not difficult at all. As you can see, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 food left, along with absolutely nothing in my tortoise. However, I did spend a while just standing around waiting for other special attacks. So if you're doing this efficiently, you will only use 1 dose of your potions, maybe some more of your super restore, and then you should have a lot more food left over, depending on whether or not you have yak, terror bird, whatever. But anyways, that is pretty much all you need to know about killing QBD. The only other thing I can say is that if you're using melee, be sure to stand off to the side, or the super fire will insta-kill you every time. It's terrible stuff. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know if you get a Visage, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.